You know who Dostoevsky is? Have heard the name? No, he's a bestseller in Europe, bestseller in North America. ये शैतान की पुजारी नहीं है, ये मोरालिटी की किताबें लिखते हैं, सही और गलत के ऊपर किताबें लिखी इन्होंने। पता किस चीज में बात कर रहा है वो? गुनाह क्यों ना किया जाए, खुद अपने अंदर गुनाह को रोकने की ताकत कैसे पैदा की जाए। When they start to play with the book, then something happens. That's called maghdubi alayh. That's called waladali. We try to play with our own very book and made sure no Muslim would get the real meaning. And you know why? Because we never learned Arabic ourselves. But we say, no, ये नहीं सीखना, but जो अंकल ने बोल दिया वो सीखना। अंकल का बोला हुआ अल्लाह का कलाम नहीं है, और अंकल के दीन पे नहीं आना, अल्लाह के दीन पे आना। So what is this? Try and read these names from Aristotle to Descartes and to Hume to Nietzsche and Bertrand Russell and Thomas Hobbes. Heard the names? Some of them are English names. John Locke, English name. Thomas Hobbes. Okay, Aristotle is not English, he's Greek. And Plato, Immanuel Kant. This is the Dutch guy. Okay. This is a piece of cloth, I didn't know that. Okay. So what is this? You know what these people are? I'll tell you what. I'm not going to build up on this because I'm doing this for you. These are the people who are natural reactions. The sunnah of Allah Azza wa Jal, which speaks from within the human beings. If he's not led under the Quran, not led under the guidance of Allah Azza wa Jal, the body itself is going to mechanize its own self. It's going to perform based on the formula it was born on. So if you go through the history of since Adam alayhi salam, you see these kind of names popping up every single era in abundance. These are the top 50. The pick top 50 means they're rated to influence more than certain number of generations. So forget the ratings right now. This is not the point. I'm not here to rate philosophers here. What I'm saying is, right now we're in the age of postmodernism. This age is another natural reaction. These are the new age prophets of the West and the East and the, America and the Europe and the Oriental and the Asia Pacific. Everybody can has published a very well-written book and a thesis on what is the actual solution. What are the big problems that we're all facing? And what should be the solution? Before the world wars, modernism came into place, and you can see a lot of names from modernism. Before that, other names. Before that, and even before the Prophet ﷺ, we could see a lot of names. These are names before the Prophet ﷺ. Okay? So why I'm showing you this is this has been a most natural, general human behavior. Right now there's a boy and a girl who is growing into this sort of realm to try and solve the bigger problem of the planet. In England, most of the philosophers came from Europe. Most of the European philosophers were English. So this is a very rich country which propels their kids to go into the thinking mode and try and come up with a bigger diagram of what the solution should be. Since most of the kids are being bred here, that's why Pakistan or India or Bangladesh has to bow to these kind of demographics. Because whoever is going to come up with a bigger solution, even if it's not right, he still came up with something. So something will be done about this, and I'll tell you this right now. Most of the governments are writing their foreign policies. Benjamin Franklin came 3 times and redid the US Constitution based on John Locke's essays. America Pura, the whole of America, was redone by one of these or some of these. Friedrich Nietzsche came back to life in the youth of America in the 1990s. Okay? Karl Marx, his ideology is probably the only real enemy of America, which they say. You know who Karl Marx is? There's a guy, okay? Karl Marx with a K. Das Kapital, that's his book, read it. I'll tell you why I'm sharing this. I'm not going to take much time on this. This is not a boring session today, don't worry. I'm showing you these names because they exist right now. These people are going to keep existing. LGBTQ se dar laga hua hai na aapko England mein? Yeah, because of one of these guys. एथीज्म से डर लगा हुआ है, आपके बच्चे गेज एंड लेस्बियंस ना बन जाए। देखें, मैंने उर्दू में बात की है, तकलीफ पहुंचाना चाह रहा हूं मैं आपको। Where do they become into that thinking mode कि हाँ ये भी मैं कर लूँ, ये भी ठीक है वहाँ, because of books written by these kind of people. And they did an amazing job, by the way. They're not rebels of Allah Azza wa Jalla against Allah Azza wa Jalla. No, they're trying to do whatever they can. वो अलग बात है, अल्लाह ताला ने कहा हिदायत तो मैं ही दूंगा ना। So these are, and you better call them, because you know what they are? They're prophesizing the future problems and trying to solve them right now. That's why we call them philosophers. That's why I call them the new age prophets. ये शैतानी लोग नहीं हैं, ये इंसानी रिएक्शंस हैं। ये शैतान के पुजारी नहीं हैं, ये मोरालिटी की किताबें लिखते हैं, सही और गलत के ऊपर किताबें लिखी इन्होंने। They wrote books and books and books, volumes and volumes in every book on morality. Look at what they wrote about. Read this. They wrote about ruh, metaphysics, and the whole alameen. Literally, alameen के ऊपर ये काम करने बैठे. Epistemology, the real meaning of everything that we have. Asma'ul Husna. Epistemology. You know what? Asma'ul Husna? Heard the name? कुछ याद आ रहा है? Asma'ul Husna. किसी और को याद आ रहा है अस्माउल हुस्ना? आदम अलैहिस्सलाम को अल्लाह ताला ने, फरिश्तों ने जब कहा, फरिश्तों ने कि हम सारी कायनात के the upholders of the universe, and you're giving the throne to this creation of yours, and Allah Azza wa Jal taught Adam what? He taught Asma'ul Husna. Okay? So आदम के बच्चों ने क्या ट्राई किया? आदम के बच्चों ने एपिस्टेमोलॉजी के अंदर एंटर किया. The real meanings of all of these. Whether they got it or not, different discussion. But they went into it. And then they went into human nature and ethics. The right and wrong. LGBT यहाँ पे आता है. Gender identity यहाँ पे आता है. And I'm talking about your daughter and your sons. We're going to ask those questions. And they're not just going to ask questions. You know what they're going to do? They're going to judge your answers as well. And they rightly will. They better judge your answers. Because that's also human nature. That's human nature. That's Allah की सुन्नत है ये जिस्म मेरा, ये मेरा ज़हन, मेरा दिमाग. अल्लाह की सुन्नत, अल्लाह ने बनाई हुई मशीन. एक कलाम वो है जो अल्लाह ने लिख के दिया है, उसको कहते हैं कुरान. एक कलाम वो है जो अल्लाह ने बोल के दिया है, उसको कहते हैं कायनात, उसको कहते हैं इंसान. ये दोनों अल्लाह के कलाम हैं, दोनों अल्लाह की आयतें हैं. अल्लाह इसको आयत ही कहते हैं. अल्लाह खुद इसको आयत कहते हैं. अभी दिखाता हूं आपको कुरान में. That's the problem. So make sure you understand what I'm trying to say here. Okay, this thesis better go inside your hearts, if not your minds. Metaphysics better go inside your minds, if not your hearts. Metaphysics, epistemology, ethics, political and economic systems, the law and order. Okay? And then the placement of all of this and what to do about this. So all of these guys are still writing right now, being published in England, in America. Bestsellers. Bestsellers, इनकी किताबें bestsellers होती. Dostoevsky is still the bestseller. अभी इस 2024-23 की बात बता रहा हूं. You know who Dostoevsky is? Have heard the name? No, he's a bestseller in Europe. Bestseller in North America. पता किस चीज में बात कर रहा है वो? गुनाह क्यों ना किया जाए, खुद अपने अंदर गुनाह को रोकने की ताकत कैसे पैदा की जाए. Crime and Punishment. That's the name of the book. Look it up. 1800-1900 के लोग रिपब्लिश हो रहे हैं अभी और बेस्ट सेलर्स हैं. I'll tell you why I'm telling you. Don't worry. I just want you to know this is not something I wrote, okay? I didn't write this table. I just know the categories in which philosophy is written. So, All of these people from way before Isa ibn Maryam till today, they're writing about this. How they go into the future in their minds, they see the problems, they reverse engineer the solutions right now. That's how they write philosophy. Okay? So whoever goes into the future and talks about what's going to happen in the future, what do we call them in English? Anybody who's born in England, talking about the future, telling you what's going to happen in the future. What's it called in English? Who's the English teacher? Yusuf. Yeah. Me predicting what's going to happen in the future accurately, what's it called?
We call it time.
No, it's called a prophecy. Okay? It's called a prophecy. A prophecy is when we try and tell what's going to happen in the future. Okay? That's where the word prophet comes from. Prophet is who prophesizes accurately and tries to train people on how to avoid what's about to happen or build up if there is any good that is going to happen in the future. He causes the good. He doesn't just tell what's going to happen because he knows and he can see the future. And every human being can do a little bit of future telling by looking at the patterns कि बच्चे कहाँ जाएंगे तो आगे क्या होगा. So why I'm talking about this is make sure you understand. This is what Allah Azza wa Jal told every Muslim. These 4 things. If you're not going to do 4 things, you are maghdubi alayhim. If you're not going to do these 4 things, you are waladdallin. These are the 4 things जो Pakistan हो या India, Bangladesh हो या North Africa. You pull these ayahs in the Quran, you're not even going to get the meanings, let alone the utility of these ayahs. And these are the people who are doing the same things that Allah told us in the Quran. ये गलत कर रहे हैं, फिक्र ना करना, मतलब गलत निकाल रहे हैं, नीयत ठीक है, मेहनत की डायरेक्शन भी ठीक है, मगर कहाँ वो चारा वही कर रहे हैं जो ये अल्लाह ने यहाँ पे कहा है. So let me show you what this means so that you can know why I'm going to come up with this program in the last slides of the presentation. And I need your kids to be in that program. And that program is for the kids in Palestine, for the kids in America, for the kids in Pakistan, for the kids in Indonesia. But they have to be doing it in Leicester, in Manchester, in London, in Birmingham, in Newcastle. These kids better be doing it here. I'll tell you what they're going to be doing. But what are they missing out on? This. Mohsin, you getting this? Yeah? So Allah Azza wa Jalla says, this is Surah Jummah, first 2 ayahs. Yusabbihu lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. Now, you need to understand. I'm not going to go into the semantics because whatever translation you're reading right now is totally inaccurate. But I'm sorry, that's the kind of translation you have in your homes. So I'm going to show you how to decode the translations as a regular Muslim so that you would not go through that kind of problem. Okay? So Allah says, whatever is in the heavens and whatever is on the earth constantly glorifies Allah the King. Yusabbihu means a certain thing, and I'll tell you how to do that later, after the program. Allah says, Yusabbihu lillahi ma fis samawati wa ma fil ard. All of a sudden, Allah is starting with His attributes, Al-Malik, Al-Quddus, Al-Aziz, Al-Hakim. Now, there are 4 attributes. Make sure you don't forget. This is the slide, okay? This is the focus. Do not forget this. This is natural human reaction. These are the people who are still calling the shots on any and everything that you and I are doing in any part of the world. This is a natural human behavior. This is what Allah is saying. Allah is saying, I'm sending you from among you guys a prophet who is going to do 4 things. Sir, we will break at 4 p.m. for Maghrib. 40 minutes break. 40 minutes for Maghrib. I'd try to say it in British. 40 for Maghrib? Oh, dinner. Oh, that's the real break. So what is the time right now in England? 10 to 4? Okay, let me quickly get through this, okay? So Allah is saying, this prophet is going to do 4 things in front of you. Yatlu alayhim ayat. Yatlu alayhim ayat. So, from the ladies, what is the word ayat? Ayat means? Ayat. Okay. Anybody? Yes. Yes. What's your name? Mahin? I can't get it. I can't understand the meaning. Sound? Mahin? Maya? Maya. Maya. Yeah, okay. Anybody from here? Signs to follow. Yes. So, yatlu alayhim ayat. Signs to follow. He's going to follow the signs. Yatlu alayhim ayat. What does it say here? Reciting to them the Quran. Yatlu is tilawat, yes. और tilawat पाकिस्तानी मौलवी ने कहा है पढ़ने को कहते हैं. अरबी में tilawat होता है फॉलो करना. See the problem? दाढ़ी वाले अंकल ले डूबे हमें. आज तक तिलावत का मतलब पता ना हमें क्या था. इसलिए इंग्लैंड आना पड़ा आपको बताने कि तिलावत का मतलब ये है, ये कर रहे हैं. अब बताता हूं वो कौन सी 4 चीजें कर रहे हैं. I didn't write this. You Google up any translation right now. You show me if they got the meaning right. Yatlu alayhim ayat. You know what that means? Whatever they're trying to say? That Allah's Prophet ﷺ tajweed से आयतें पढ़ के सुनाते थे कुरान की. तजवीद दुरुस्ती नाउज़ बिल्लाह. अल्लाह के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के लिए उन्होंने ये एक एट्रीब्यूट कुरान में उन्होंने ये निकाला मुसलमानों ने कि अल्लाह के नबी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम किताब को पढ़ के सुनाते, तिलावत करते थे. तो अगर समझ लें तिलावत करते थे तो फिर ये क्या है? युअल्लिमुहुमुल किताब. जो कि असल में यहां पे क्या लिखा हुआ ये देखिए. Teaching them the book. That's not the meaning of yu'allimuhumul kitab. I'll show you what the meaning is. Don't worry. Allah Ta'ala ये तो कह रहे हैं कि ये confuse ना हो जाना, वाला दालीन ना बन जाना. 4 चीजें बता रहा हूं, 4 चीजें पूरी करनी है वरना काम नहीं होने वाला. वरना फलस्तीन क्या, पाकिस्तान, अगला पता नहीं, Indian Muslims and then Pakistani, any and everybody is going to go down. So this is how you need to understand. This man I'm sending upon, from within you is going to do 4 things in front of you. Yatlu alayhim ayat. And then he's going to do yuzakkihim, clean you up. And then he's going to do yu'allimuhumul kitab. He is going to make sure that you follow the law and order. He's going to teach you the law and he's going to make that order from within you. And then he's going to do hikmah. He's going to give you the methodology of how to connect all of these. This is that array, that bracket that you guys have to see. Al-Malik, ayat. Al-Qudus, tazkiyah. Al-Aziz, the law. And Al-Hakim, hikmah. यहां तक समझ आ गया? आप गौर से देखें. अल मलिक का मतलब पाकिस्तानी वाला मत ले लीजिएगा. अगर निशानियां डिकोड करनी हैं अल्लाह की निशानियों को ढूंढते ढूंढते अल्लाह तक पहुंचना है, तो मलिक का मतलब होना चाहिए उसके ऊपर। अगर तज़किया करना है तो कुद्दूस का मतलब ठीक है हमारे पास, कुद्दूस पाक ही होता है और तज़किया पाक करने को ही कहते हैं। अल अजीज़ पाकिस्तानी मतलब मत लीजिएगा, अल अजीज़ का मतलब होता है सख्त, और कानून, कानून सख्त ही होता है, और हकीम हिकमा ही करवाता है। सो द रियल प्रॉब्लम इज human beings, when they start to play with the book, then something happens. That's called maghdubi alayhim. That's called waladdalim. We try to play with our own very book and made sure no Muslim would get the real meaning. And you know why? Because we never learned Arabic ourselves. That's the problem. They didn't force us to read their translations. The Quran is still free in every one of our homes. But we say, no, 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 ये नहीं सीखना, बस जो अंकल ने बोल दिया वो सीखना है। अंकल का बोला हुआ अल्लाह का कलाम नहीं है, वो अंकल का कलाम है। अल्लाह का लिखा हुआ अल्लाह का कलाम है, और अंकल के दीन पे नहीं आना, अल्लाह के दीन पे आना है।